So, today we are doing a drawbridge design, which is made out of trapdoors, or you can use doors too. That's a preference. So there are two ways to place down the trapdoors. You can either put it on the top of the block, which is a relatively new feature, or you can put it on the bottom of the block like this. And either one works fine, they just look a little different. This one, the redstone is right next to it. This one, it's one above almost. So it depends on looks. And there are two ways to do the redstone on the side as well. You can see right here, you can see the redstone and everything. Well, you can also hide it, as in this design, or this one. So the way I did that was, it seems kind of complicated and pointless for what it does. It's just hiding 3 redstone basically. But what it does is, this is the switch. It powers the redstone here, goes through this inverter, which we'll talk about in a sec, and then hits this other inverter, which sends the redstone power up a whole block, so it'll control the redstone. That is the point of this inverter. Inverters have two qualities, though. They can switch the power, as this one does. You can see when it's on state on one side, it turns it to off state, and vice versa, off to on. But it also powers the blocks. It sends the current one above it, so it'll power redstone that's right there. That is what we are using this for. That is the function we're using here. It powers the redstone above it. But we have to take into account that it switches it from on to off. So what we do is we use the second one to counteract it. It starts from off, it goes to on, and when it hits this one, it's off again. So it works. The problem with this design is you have to cover up some, and we needed more room there, so we made it 1 block higher. But like in this design, I can show you, we just made it 1 whole block deeper, and then it just climbed 2 steps using 2 inverters right there. So we basically moved the inverter that was there and put it right there, and they counteract each other and get the height up. And right here, you can just put a half slab. Okay, so you can put it there and it won't cut off the redstone circuitry, and it'll work fine, and you won't even know it's there. So I like this design better. Just make it, it's just 1 lower, so just dig 1 more block down. And this I've made here to prove the point why you need 2 of them, of these inverters. This one, it powers the redstone above, but it also turns the power from off to on. So while one side is on, it's off, the other one's off, and so it doesn't work. So you do need both. You need this one and this one. This right here is just showing the design that's 1 more deep, just above ground, if you need to get a better look at it. This goes around, it can hit up some steps, goes in the inverter, and this is where the wall would be. So yeah. Thing that's really important with these drawbridges is you need a roof, because if there's no roof, they can just walk along the side and get across with it being open. Another thing though is you can see this when you open these, you can actually walk along the top of this. Monsters can do that too. So they can get across even when it's closed or open. So you need to put a roof over the whole thing. That's very important. So this one is just 2 high. You can make one that is 3 high and then put a half slab. That'll work too. But you need to have a roof. The thing about the roof though is if you make a roof that is, if it starts right where the drawbridge starts, then you can't get on it, because this roof is too high, and you can tell when you get onto the trapdoor that you rise up a little bit, if you can see that. So you're taking up more space than 2 blocks. So it won't let you through. But what you can do is if you place a block that's 1 out, you can walk right on and it works just fine. So you need to have it one more farther out on either side so you can jump on. So that's what I've done there. If you have if it's 1.5 tall, then you don't need to worry about that though. So that is the nice thing about using half slabs. Then you don't need to make it one out on either side. So that's pretty much it with the trapdoor drawbridge. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. Thanks so much for watching.